guys, Morton. They're burying us alive!
Well, shit.
Jeez, Louie.
Honey, don't you want to beat those bastards? In my book, we're gonna be winners.
What's the matter? You got nothing left inside, huh? Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
Screw them.
What are you doing? What are people doing?
Is this early access to?
Hey, let me tell you something, bro.
Get out there now and do the best you can.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 13 of the Bad Fodder Figures podcast. Captain Mike, joined by Eric, Matt, and Jeremy tonight. The government might be shut down, but Bad Fodder Figures is here, and we're proud to announce that Eric is working even though the government is closed for business. Eric, how you doing,
right,
brother?
I'm fantastic, man.
So tell me what happens.
Let me tell you what happened. Well, nothing happens with me, so I'm what's called essential personnel. But look, so I'm still good. But I this is gonna sound stupid, and none of y'all are gonna understand this. But I'm cool with a shutdown, and here's why. Because maybe it's selfish me, but I still get paid, right? But like 1 day a week, I work 2 days, right? I mean, 1 week I work 2 days in a pay period. And then the other week I work 4 days, right? So in a shutdown, usually, but not this time for some reason, the last time we had a shutdown, one of those days in that 2 day period, they told me not to come to work. So I was off the whole week. So I'm cool with being off the whole week. I don't think y'all understand what I'm talking about. That's freaking cool as hell.
So they tell you not to come in, but you still get paid for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm cool with that. Now, for the regular people who aren't cops and stuff like that, it's unfortunate and it's messed up, and that's totally messed up because they don't come to work tomorrow,
and they don't get
until they figure this out.
And I can't remember, how long do these things usually last? A few days, few weeks?
The last one lasted 16 days. Okay. But I don't think this was going to last past Monday, me personally. It's going to be like Monday, Tuesday, something like that.
He just needed an extended golf outing in Florida.
Yeah, because what they keep doing is they keep extending it. Like if they're going to probably pass something on Monday and they're going to extend it to February, then they have to reconvene and go back in and do it again. But both sides are being bullheaded, if you ask me.
Well, Eric, I'm very happy to hear that you might have some time off. But what really worries me is Facebook. Now,
what do you mean?
Well, you know what I mean. You know, I go on Facebook. I have this routine at night when I wind down. You know, some guys might do something else. You know, I get in bed, I check some ESPN, I check some, local stations. I go to Twitter, and then I, usually wind down with Facebook and Instagram, right?
Right.
And, I just have to ask. I'm not trying to bust your balls too much.
Right.
Do you and your wife have like a quota? Do you feel like you're like competing with each other with the Facebook post? No, before you answer that, are you doing this side by side? Or like you in bed, like, hey, check this out. Hey, walk me through the usual day of your Facebook.
Sometimes that we are laying right beside each other, but usually when I do Facebook, it's usually I post stuff on Facebook that's funny as hell to me.
Yes,
that's what I do. Now my wife is all sometimes political and all that bullshit, and she probably posting something about legalizing marijuana or something like that. That's just her, right? That's just how she does. But mine is mostly funny stuff for the most part.
You guys, I tell you, I probably on any given day you probably cost me 30 to 45 minutes of sleep because I get sucked in looking at these damn things. Whether it's cute dog stuff, or some people crashing, or near-death experiences. So.
Did you see that amusement park ride that I posted?
With the people that passed out?
No, it was just a new ride somewhere. It's like all these gyroscopes.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Let me tell you something, bruh. Oh, my goodness.
Well, when Matt does his terrible topics later, make sure, all of you, because I'm really having memory issues lately that I forget things. So some people's got to remind me that I have a terrible topic of my own
Okay, cool.
to finish that. And it's around amusement park ride. So, Eric,
But yeah, Facebook is hilarious, man. I crack up on Facebook. And some people take it way too serious. They get way too... One person's getting very political, and I don't do all that. I ain't got time for it.
I am just a Facebook viewer. I ever really post anything on there. But you post a lot of fascinating stuff. I will give you that. So
Yeah, it's hilarious.
you will have more time, so I expect my my viewer workload to increase now that you're not going to be working every day.
No, I'm going to be working every day now until they told us we're going to be still working. It's not affecting us at all. So
Now, Matt, you know who put the work in today, don't you, brother?
The work in you did.
No.
No.
Tom Terrific, TB12.
Yeah. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady put the work in today, gentlemen.
that's called the GOAT because he's the GOAT.
So let me run some numbers by you. The 54th comeback in his career, his 9th AFC championship, so it means his 9th trip to a Super Bowl. Pretty lofty numbers. And so the Patriots are now the top organization ever Super Bowl appearances with number 10. Pretty crazy stuff, the world we're living in right now. And Matt, sadly, your prediction will not come true as Philadelphia is really taking it to Minnesota. It's 38-7 with 12 and a half minutes left. So
Ain't over till it's over.
I am confident Matt is going to hold out for hope. I am confident that it's going to be Philadelphia and New England as a rematch in the Super Bowl. So,
And we know what's going to happen there.
well, we'll hold off next week for a prediction. You guys let it marinate for a week and really soak in the numbers I just gave you. Let that really seep into your brain, and we'll come back.
I know, Mike, you're really happy that the Vikings are not going because you've been talking about for the past month here.
It would have been insufferable. The first team to play in the Super Bowl, what this would mean. Fuck that. You're losing. 38-7. 11.
How would you feel if that was New England that was going to be in the Super Bowl?
They're
like
never
that?
going to have a
The
Super
home
Bowl
team.
in New England. It's too cold.
I'm not saying that. What would you think? Other people would be saying the same thing. Would you be in that type of mood too? Like, oh, I can't do this.
Well, the one thing I would like about it being in New England is it's an outdoor, cold game, and I think that's really what football. When you break it down, its essence, that's what we all sort of like. We love those snow games. We love seeing the breath come out of the helmets and things like that. Too often, these Super Bowl games feel too safe and. On these, either whether it's in a dome or it's in a warm climate, you really don't feel like you're getting old school football. So,
Yeah.
And Minnesota is a dome, and it would have been the same thing, Well, it's going to be the same thing, so yeah. Enough football talk. We have to bring in my man, Hoodie Ninja, Runer 2. Any other aliases that you go by, Jeremy?
Hank Starfire.
Hank
One I
Starfire.
had when I was a kid.
Wayne Hung Low.
I was an oil tycoon from Texas, and they called Hank Starfire.
or just plain Ruiner.
Yeah, or just that.
So I apologize, gentlemen. It's 2 weeks in a row that I haven't been able to stream with you guys. Reason being is you guys were playing PUBG on the PC last night. And my current PC, I uninstalled all my PC games because I got a new PC today. So I met up with RoboPig earlier. Big shout out to Dave. He handed off the PC to me, and so far, knock on wood, no issues. I did get a little time earlier today to bust out Fortnite on the PC, and ran it through GeForce, and of course, all the settings went to Epic. No issues. Played a bunch of matches.
Epic settings went to epic. Oh,
But I got to on my current PC, the older one, it went to Epic as well. It detected so. But anyways, had a lot of fun. Played some matches earlier today with my buddies Chewyzilla and Bounty TM. So again, check out those guys on Twitch. But no issues, nothing locked up, no frame rate issues, no slowdown. So really appreciate all the work Dave put in. But What I was getting at, Jeremy, is that you were playing some PUBG last night, and I tuned into that. And how did that go, gentlemen? Did we get any chicken dinners?
No.
But
That's true BFF form, no.
Yeah.
And you had a fill-in, Jeremy, for me. Would you explain on that? Would you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to save that for later, but
Okay. If you wanna.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Late last week, I was on my laptop playing a game, which I will save for later. And I thought, I haven't tried PUBG on this here laptop since the whole 1.0 rolled out, and there was supposed to be some optimization and stuff. And I tried it like over the summer, and it just was. Matt, you remember how on your old video card it would like you'd land, and then the houses would kind of be there but not, and you couldn't interact with stuff. That's pretty much how it was before. So I thought, well, let's just see what the old update did, and so I. Opened up Steam, did the update, all that, and pulled it up and did the whole, like you said, the NVIDIA thing. And it didn't go to Epic, but it did go to like normal or medium for everything, which I'm like,
nice.
I guess we'll see how this works. And sure enough, I can play a decent round of PUBG on my laptop, which now means that I can basically play with my laptop and my computer. And I've talked to play. Yep, exactly. So yesterday afternoon, Finally had the time to sit down and set her up with a Steam account. End up getting buying the game for her, getting it all set up, getting her Skype set up for her, and everything like that. And we played several matches of PUBG together in a duo for the first time. We got to number 2 in one match.
Wow.
She would have taken the chicken dinner for us if she had not run out of ammo. So I was very. It was the perfect setup and everything. It was great, but ran out of. Yeah, but it was fun, and so we got on it again last night, and Matt joined in, and I'd say she's at least as good as us. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but she kept it up.
Awesome. That's so awesome that your wife plays, man. That is freaking awesome.
Now, Matt, did you feel awkward at all when you were playing with a female? Not to be stereotypical here, but she probably lasted a little bit longer than you. Did you feel like you were like losing some of your manhood?
Yeah, most women do last longer than I do, so there was no worries there.
Yeah, par for the course.
Yeah. I tried to keep it a little bit cleaner than I normally do with you guys when I'm talking and stuff. I tried to mind my manners a little bit.
Which makes no sense because she watches us every night that we stream. And she was getting our references and talking about pizza and Shameless and it's moon smoothies and all that.
Oh,
She was right in there, but
We got one of those on the menu for tonight.
In person, though. Oh, jeez. But yeah, Mike, you would have loved it, Mike, because between Jeremy's wife screaming and my screaming, you would have been quite the bad there. Like I could have just seen that. Oh gosh, what's going on here? What's happening?
There's one time I know I have to go back and find so I can grab that clip of between the two of them. It was like a chain reaction.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, that's great to hear. I want to give you some news here that might help you gentlemen out, or ladies, the next time you play PUBG. Now, Matt and myself are probably newer to the mouse and keyboard playing that game. You know, that's really the only game I play with the mouse and keyboard. But there is this company out here that's called Varmilo, all right? And they have come up with a keyboard that's called Chicken Dinner. All right, and this keyboard has, it has certain keypads that have icons on them that correlate to PUBG. So if you want to throw a grenade, you want to switch your weapon, you want to crouch, it has all those special keys on there. It has the keys for running and stuff like that. And the space bar says, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
That's cool.
So,
well, did our Logitech sponsor check clear? Is that okay to give them a plug?
Actually, it bounced, and they charged me a $35 fee for that.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I will say that the Logitech G13, because that was actually part of the reason why we waited till Saturdays, because that's something that I use and I've used for years for PC, because it's customizable, it's very ergonomic, it even has an analog stick on there if you kind of want to go that in between route. But she learned on that, and I it's very hard for me to go back to just a normal keyboard now. So I ordered another one of those, and that didn't get there till Saturday afternoon, which is part of the reason why we waited. So maybe not quite to that extent of this is made exactly for that, but it's very customizable, and very comfortable. So a Logitech G13, look that up if you're wanting to get into that keyboard realm.
What is the price point?
I think the MSRP is somewhere between like 80 or 90, but it's usually on Amazon between like 50 and 60. I think I got it 60 shipped.
So this chicken dinner keyboard is being sold by mechanicalkeyboards.com, and depending on the size you want, it's the range is $131 and $169.
Phew.
So, chicken dinners are not free, Jeremy.
No, they are not.
Looking at the pictures here, I think there's even some commands that I'm not familiar with, but it is, that is helpful, It's got the Z for the laying down. It looks like the C is in crouch. I'm not sure what the X and the V do, but there's V do there, but there's some images on there. So check that out if people need a helping hand.
I'm looking at the buttons on top there. It's got looks like a assault rifle and different rifles. I want for those actually. If it knows what guns you have, if you can press that button, then the handgun will come up, or if the rifle, or if there's just different buttons, your gun buttons, like you do in the real keyboard.
Well, we'll have to chip in and buy one, and then pass it around like a hot potato. How many people, guys, do we know from Canada that interact with the show? I know we have Bibbs. Anybody else?
Bibbs. I want to say there's a couple other people. I don't know.
Are we about to say some shit about Canada? We take an inventory about how many we're about to lose.
So I'm just trying to narrow it down to the suspects here. Canadian man accused of spamming Twitch with hate messages faces criminal charges. So a British Columbia man faces criminal charges for allegedly targeting over 1,000 Twitch channels with more than 150,000 spam messages containing racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and sexual harassment. All right. His name is Brandon Apple. I'm so happy to hear that it's not Papa Bibbs. These charges come as a result of a petition from Twitch to Canadian authorities early in 2017 to track down the suspect. He was using some sort of program to do this. Chat Surge. I've never heard of that. But the messages that he was posting was death to all Jews, Allah hates gays, Kappa Pride, and get the black guy out of here.
What's his Xbox handle?
XXX Brandon Apple
420 69.
So the punishment, if found guilty of charges of mischief in relation to computer data, is punishable up to 10 years in prison.
Wow.
I don't think he has to worry too much. I don't think Canada has a tough prison system, but who knows? But people be nicer to each other. Yeah, I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad it's not Bibbs or Ziontain or anybody like that. Now let's get to really what we came here to talk about tonight. Nintendo Labo. Is that how we're going with the pronunciation?
Libido.
That sounds good, but what in the hell?
Is that like for laboratory? Is that what they're going for there?
Nintendo. So let's set the groundwork here, and I have solicited an outside opinion here, gentlemen, because I'd like to bring my research in. I like to be prepared. No one is going to outwork me when it comes to the podcast. Okay,
You're true. That's right.
I have found someone that will give us a very opinionated opinion on this topic. So first of all, let's set the ground rules here. Nintendo Labo. I just like saying that over again. Nintendo Labo. Is an innovative augmented reality game that turns cardboard models into fully functional toys. Keeping up with the Joy-Con name, these toys are called Toy-Con. And they're supposed to contain, I guess each box is going to contain 25 sheets of thick, brown, branded cardboard.
I got that.
There's going to be
sounds like me. Thick and brown.
thick. THICC. Following Lego-like instructions on the Twitch screen, you can punch out the cardboard pieces and assemble them into contraptions of varying complexity. I guess some of these can be made in 15 minutes, and if you are a music junkie and you want to do the piano, well, set aside about 2 hours to do these things.
Jesus,
Wow.
very many.
Jeremy, before we get to your opinion, I want to give you two pieces of information here. First of all, if you break these, right, if there's something that goes on with the cardboard, Nintendo is going to have something in place to replenish your cardboard. There's no, in this story or in other stories I've read, there's been no mention of it being free or anything like that. Maybe you can buy like a one-off sheet if like, hey, you know, the kid really thought the fishing rod was a fishing rod and dumped it in his bathtub. You know, maybe maybe it lets you go out and buy another cardboard sheet for the fishing rod. And I know, Jeremy, you have some opinions on this because I talked to you offline about it. But beforehand, I have talked to Los. Everybody know Los from the Future Monkeys?
Future Monkeys, yeah.
All right, so if you give me a minute here, gentlemen, let me read a quote from Los. And Jeremy or anybody else, if you need to take notes to sort of do a counterpoint, feel free. But let me take a drink of water here so I don't get choked up as I read his quote word for word. Okay. As a cardboard construction enthusiast, does anybody? I never knew that was a thing, but here we go.
Yeah.
I would go on record to say that Labo helps to build on the constructive nature of kids, because at its core, it is focused towards children. Gaming nerds could get all mad and say how dumb it is, but if you're thinking it's dumb, then it's probably because it's not geared to you. No offense, there's plenty of things I'm not interested in that tons of people love. Them their last man standing games you guys love so much, for example. I'm not against them, they're just not for me. And he goes on to say, yeah, they could have easily made cheap plastic peripherals that flooded the market like when the Wii was in the wilds, but going this route makes it more educational. It's teaching kids the way things work, the way a toy, they play with how it's built. Yeah, it's just dumb cardboard, but have you seen what I've done with dumb cardboard? Haha, just kidding. But he's referencing his fireplace. Has anybody seen his Christmas fireplace that was made out of cardboard? Mm-hmm. Anyways, but seriously, there's some cool mechanics going on, and the way it all integrates with the mini games will spark a lot of excitement and inspiration in kids. And giving a kid cardboard cutouts and saying, here, make this, then use it to play this game, that changes everything about what they're doing versus giving them a plastic fishing rod and saying, go pretend you're catching a fish on TV. It's very close, if not an actual STEM game. Someone's going to have to tell me what a STEM game is, but that helps educate while also letting them have fun. Does STEM mean sort of like stimulating? I don't know. But that's his quote there. And I asked him for that because I really don't have a horse in the race when it comes to this, because my kids have no interest in the Switch, and I'm certainly not going out and buying these things for myself. So I wanted to get someone with an opinion to sort of counterpoint, which I think Jeremy might have an opinion on these things. So Jeremy, the floor is yours if you want to counterpoint or agree to anything or just state your opinion.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm trying to find STEM games. I'm not finding any definite definition, so I have nothing on that. Sorry. Right. So I'll also go ahead and preface this by saying I technically, just like you, Mike, have no dog in this fight. I have less of a dog in this fight because I don't even own a Switch. Most of my opinion is based on the reaction of everyone I've seen that, like, Twitter blew up when this was announced, and the initial surge was, oh my goodness, this was so innovative and creative. Way to go, Nintendo. And then it was like Lo said, all the what do you call gamer nerds? Is that what he said? Like, yes. This is dumb. This is not for me. And then, then that wave hit. And then the next wave was, this isn't for you. It's for the kids. And so that's kind of where I was like, all right, come on, because, and I think the thing that this reminds me the most of are the Lego Dimensions. Was that mm-hmm. it, Mike? Where you'd spend a half hour to 2 hours putting together these things to use them off and on. Not even like all the time, and then you don't keep up with them or whatever. But I'm saying, in my mind, I think yes, it's geared more for kids and also for the grown-up kids who have the Switch. So there's a very, very small market, I think, as far as when you look at the number of Switches that got sold over the holiday or even in the past year. A very small percentage of those people is what this is targeted for. And I showed the little preview or the teaser for it or whatever to my wife, and she was looking at that and she said that's all going to break. Every kid's going to break that. It's all going to break. So yeah, they kind of need to have a replacement plan, but like you said, it doesn't mention whether it's free or not. But I mean, in my mind, the whole thing is just totally impractical. If you have a kid who's old enough and has the patience and the hand-eye coordination and the know-how to follow the directions to sit down and put together it says 2 hours for a piano, you probably need to double that time for a kid. And then for them to actually sit there and play it, unless that kid already knows how to play piano, he's probably not going to be Liberace by the time he's done playing whatever little mini game that fits in this. And let's be honest, these things are going to be mini games with things. You're not getting a Mario Odyssey or a Breath of the Wild that comes with this bag of boxes. You're getting like a mini Mario Party, a cut of a slice of a Mario Party game. So you're going to spend more time putting the stuff together than you probably will playing with it. If you get a kid who can put it together by themselves and knows that, hey, this is a cardboard foot pedal that you're using there, so you don't actually want to put all of your 60, 70 pounds on it without breaking it. And then just the price tag, the two I've seen so far are $70 and $80. And 3 months ago, people were complaining about $2 and $3 for digital loot boxes. Now we're all lining up to pay $80 for real boxes. I don't know, man. It's like you said, it's not for me. I'm not gonna say if it's for you, great. If you love it, great. If your kids can do it and they love it, fantastic. It's just I think that this is such a narrow market that this is actually going to appeal and be practical and be used on a regular basis. That I think we're going to have a lot of these on shelves next year. There's going to be a fire sale on these.
Matt, can you bust out real quick and do the 25 or 80 divided by 25? How much am I paying for each piece of cardboard? Get back to me on that when you have a result. Eric, as a Nintendo dude, because you have a Nintendo basement, does this tickle your fancy at all? Can you see yourself buying these things and assembling them to show off as a display piece?
Not even close. But let me say this about Nintendo. Nintendo are nothing but geniuses, man. And here's why. Because they always stay relevant. Think about it, bro. These cats are taking subpar $2 games, putting some cardboard in them and charging you $80. They are geniuses, bro. These cats are geniuses, and they are staying relevant. No, they're not going to make, but they're not losing anything.
Right.
They're not packaging plastic. They're packaging cardboard. They're going to buy a shit ton of cardboard and sell it to you for $80 and make a shit ton of money. And then once it's gone, it's gone. They don't care if nobody buys it next week. But initially, people are going to jump all over this, either to shit on it or praise it.
Or to get on Twitter or their Instagram and look what I built today.
Exactly.
They combined all these pieces and to make, there is one, we haven't gone over this, there is one of these things that you can buy that covers your whole body. I'm going to say it again. It covers your whole body in cardboard, and when you go into the game, it transforms you into a transformer.
Bro, these dudes are genius.
Eric, if you don't go out and buy that, if you don't go out and buy that and cover yourself in cardboard and become the first black transformer, then what the fuck are we really doing here?
Okay, I'll do that. But here's the thing. I'm a little bit big, so it might not cover all the parts.
Buy two.
Man, they are genius, bro.
My most favorite thing of all this, though, is the memes, because they have just been just every kind of janky Transformer costume that someone has made in the past, and now it's coming back with, hey, here's the new Labo and stuff. And I think the most interesting thing I saw, and whether or not this is true, I obviously have no idea, but it was an article about the German ratings board got it and actually threw away all the boxes because they thought it was trash. Like they got the package to review and ended up throwing away all the cardboard. So, but yeah, man, these memes have just been off the wall, fantastic.
What is the food chain? I'm not sure if it's Wendy's or someone else that's always very topical of what's going on in the world. Is it Wendy's? I'm not sure if it was Wendy. It was someone like that. And they said, like, hey, Nintendo, we beat you to this months ago. And they showed, like, something that they tweeted out that they did with all their, like, napkins and, like, plates and stuff. And they had this, like fantasy world built up. And they were throwing shade at Nintendo.
Yeah, sounds like Wendy's, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Matt, have you come back with the numbers? Have you crunched them? Have you double-checked your figures?
3.2.
$3.02 per sheet?
Yes.
20 cents.
Geniuses, bro.
Yeah, $3.20 per sheet. Now, is anybody aware of what cardboard costs? Like, because it's got some sort of etching on the top or some sort of. Do we feel that? How much do you think they're making off that? $3?
Well, that was one meme I saw, is that it stresses this is high quality cardboard.
I already said it's brown and thick.
It's high quality cardboard. It's the highest.
I guess we already know our show title, huh?
It won't be long before these get out where there'll be patterns and stuff you'll be able to download and take like the cardboard from your TV box and make those yourself.
Nintendo will have their money by then. But here's the thing:
they'll sue your
even the
ass,
replacement stuff, even the replacement stuff, it's not going to be free. When have you known anytime Nintendo give anything free? It doesn't happen. So
Right.
Here's what you do: you take that stuff, okay? Because you can see where it's cut out in patterns now. You take those and you keep those patterns, and then when something breaks, you just make it again yourself.
Yeah, but it's not official.
I think when
it doesn't
this breaks,
matter.
you're not gonna. I think when this breaks, you're not gonna care because the games you're gonna play with it are not gonna be all that. Like
Exactly.
oh well, I'll never play that again. Darn.
$2 games, bro.
You know how I know this is not for me? If you ever worked in a warehouse or if you have like Christmas stuff that you're packing away for the year, and you know how you do that special thing with the box where you put the short sides down, then you put the long sides down. You kind of futz around with them and make them like some sort of like tight thing. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I can't do that. And when I do it, all the shit's like pushed in. You know what I mean? It looks like someone just like beat the hell out of the top and sides of the box.
All jacked up.
Yeah, it's all jacked up. So this is even if I had any interest, I know better.
It's genius though, man. Those mugs are genius. Oh my god.
I agree with Eric. There's going to be some of these parents out there like, oh, Jimmy's going to get a new arts and crafts supply thing now. I'm going to buy him this for this is arts and crafts that you can build stuff with cardboard and that.
So
and then they're going to play it. They're going to put it together like the little younger kids. They're going to have their parents do it with them. It's going to be like a bonding thing. I'm telling you, man, it's going to fly off the shelves, bro.
So STEM, the acronym stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. So I assume STEM games are those types of games. So there you have it. All right. Well, speaking of geniuses, gentlemen, we have a few people that have called in, and we're going to hear from them just now. But first, Matt is going to give out the voicemail number.
508-659-BFFS. 508-659-BFFS.
Very good, Matt.
Operator, may I help you? Operator?
Are you the operator?
I'm long distance, sir. Overseas, may I help you? Directory assistance, may I help you, please?
Hello. Hello again. Hello. Hello again.
All right, we have some people that have called in to the voicemail line. Let me take a quick poll, gentlemen. Someone just called in like 2-3 minutes ago. Well, not 2-3 minutes ago. What time are we at now? Maybe 42 minutes ago. Do we want to make them first or last? What order should that person go in?
I think we should have Fred French last because he's always last.
All right, so let's just because you called in last doesn't mean you're always going to be first, but tonight you're going to be first.
Right.
Hey, Bad Fodder Figures, it's Maniac17 calling in once again. Thank you for answering my question last week, even though it seemed to be a repeat, but you answered it as I had intended it. I should have said a follow-up. So thank you for that. Also, some questions for you, Mike, and anybody else that may be playing their odd consoles, which for Mike would be the Switch, because I don't believe the other guys have one, and for Jeremy would be the VR. What is the latest game you are playing on those? And Matt, what are you playing on PC? And I guess that covers it, and got it in under the wire.
Eric, he doesn't care what you're playing, so just,
Not at all.
You don't own that Switch after all. You thought you did, but you don't.
Yeah.
Play with some cardboard. That's what
He's saving up his pizza boxes.
Now, Jeremy, with no sort of announcement at all, you were streaming something, Saturday afternoon? I was working, and I was watching you play some VR stuff. Would that be something you want to talk about now, talk about later to answer Jay's question?
That is totally up to you. I was going to talk about it later, but if you want me to do it now, I can.
Just give us a little taste of, or any sort of game. What did he say, oddball? Or odd system?
Yeah, I'm the Eric doesn't have VR either apparently. So,
hey, Eric, they don't have a lot. They don't have a lot of black people in Maine, Eric.
No, they don't. I mean, I get it.
Brown and thick,
especially thick ones, thick brown.
Yeah. They think they're bears up there, and they shoot them.
Oh no.
So what I've been doing lately is hopping in the Oculus store and sorting into the section where it says like the highest rated, so that way I can kind of get around all the just garbage of the shooting galleries and stuff that's in VR. And one of the really highly rated ones is called From Other Suns. So that's sun like the star, not like sun like your offspring. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at it, and it had a pretty neat premise where you're like this spaceship captain, and you do all this stuff. There's some shooting in it, kind of like in Robo Recall, but there's also some flying, like that's in what was that other space game I was taking? Elite Dangerous. I was looking at it. It was like $40, and I'm obviously on a spending boycott right now. But they had a free weekend for it this weekend, so I thought, hey, I'm going to give that a try. So I put it in, and man, that is a fantastic game. I don't know if it's coming to PSVR or not. And if it does, Eric, definitely get it. But
wow, he said fantastic.
It's okay. If that thing ever gets on a decent sale when I'm buying games, it will be mine. But
just stop you for 1 second here. One thing I'm not guilty of is not repeating the name of the game. Can you tell people again what the name of this game is?
Sure. From Other Suns.
From Other Suns. All right, thank you.
Yes. Yep. And there is a video up on the BFF YouTube page. That's YouTube/BadFodderFigures. And it's basically just the tutorial and like the first mission, which is still very hand-holdy and stuff. But there's different aspects where you're on your spaceship, and there's different rooms. Like there's a room for your weapons, there's a room for your engine, and you can go in there and you have like a repair tool, so you can actually go into each room and repair them. You also have crew members walking around, so you can kind of get on your if you hold up your left arm, it's like a watch, and you kind of tap it brings up a screen, and it's an interactive screen, so you can kind of tap on the crew member on the map on your watch and tell them to go to a room, and they'll start repairing it and stuff like that. You go to the bridge, and you kind of do space battles that way. So it's not a super fast arcadey, like you're flying around going to get motion sickness. It's basically you're working the panel to say, fire lasers, fire torpedoes, target this, or something like that. But then there's also missions where you'll go and you'll board other vessels. And so you go in there, and there's these dangerous killer robots. And then based on the preview and stuff, there gets to be like aliens and stuff like that, and all different kinds of weapons and everything. So it was a really nice blend of some really well done games that I've played so far, all packaged into one deal. Like I said, it was $40, which seems like a lot for a VR game, which I don't know what that says about like the industry and stuff right now. But the download was like 40 gigs, so I mean it feels like a full it feels like a full size game. I've mentioned in the past that those videos don't show up very well. I kind of watched this one again after I put it up. It's not too bad. I tried to focus more on holding my head still, but you'll get a good idea just by watching that I think it's like 45 minutes or whatever. Just saying that it was just really well done, I thought. So I'm looking forward to playing it again later.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Matt, any sort of PC stuff that you've been playing that's out of the ordinary for Jay?
Yeah, probably so. I'll just name it here, but I'll go into more later. Torchlight 2.
Oh, that's
Lakeview.
so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Just start playing again. And then Lakeview Cabin Collection, part of the Humble Bumble.
Oh, that thing's crazy, isn't it?
Humble Bumble.
Humble Bumble.
All right.
Bubba.
Yeah. So
Bubba Yubba.
we'll talk more about those later.
All right. Eric, I know he didn't ask you, but is there anything that you're playing on, let's say, Switch or VR related that people might not know about that you should be telling them?
Nah, I've been just playing the same stuff. Played some Fortnite, but I played some just the regular VR stuff. I got a VR game coming next week that I'll talk about next week. The Impatient, that's going to be fantastic, but we'll talk about that next week.
So since I like to kill two birds with one stone here, we got a Splatoon 2 story that I had in the news, but we'll just address it now because Jay asked me what I was playing on the Switch, and I've been doing some more streaming via the Switch. And so I played some Splatoon 2 this week and got to see some new arenas and guns and things like that. So that's pretty cool. But if you can believe it, Splatoon 2 is the first 2 million seller in Japan on home consoles in 10 years. Seems very hard to believe. Maybe Mario and Zelda are a bigger deal here in the U.S. than they are in Japan. Could that be possible?
I would think Monster Hunter or something like that would be like big over there, and they would have sold way a lot of numbers.
I think they play Monster Hunter on mobile.
So I would say that's the key is that it's console, which if you look at, Xbox doesn't do anything over there. PlayStation, you would think would have a bigger presence, but maybe not. But yeah, I think they're mostly handheld.
Mm-hmm.
So they categorize the Switch as console or mobile?
They home consoles. They're saying Splatoon 2 has sold 2 million copies just in Japan. And that's their biggest seller in Japan on home consoles in nearly a decade. So I guess the question I was asking is Mario and Zelda a bigger deal over here than it is there?
Yeah, I would say so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's what I've been playing on the Switch lately. There's so much stuff coming out on the Switch that I feel like I'm missing out on. I just haven't had the time or money because I got this new PC. So I do need to circle back to the Switch and see what I've been missing. Let's see. Next voicemail. Let's hear from.
What's up, Bad Fodder Figures crew? It's your boy Vaughn. Hey, last show, I believe it was, you guys were talking about what controllers that is your favorite controller for which system. I'm going to kind of flip that question a little bit. Is there a game that's on one system that you wish was on a different console? For me, that would be Killer Instinct on Xbox. I prefer, speaking of controllers, I prefer the PlayStation 4 controller for fighting and the Xbox controllers mainly for shooting. I don't know why, but I wish Killer Instinct was on the PlayStation 4 for that reason, so I could use my controller from a PS4. But I want to also let you guys know, speaking on that, there is a little USB device that you can buy. I believe it's made by Brooks that you can buy. So if you prefer to play one particular controller on your system, you can buy an adapter that allows you to play PS4 controllers on your Xbox and vice versa. I have the one just for that, for Killer Instinct, so I can play my Killer Instinct using my Sony PlayStation controller. And once you sync it, you never have to resync it. It always works. So I use the same controller for my PlayStation and then jump over on Xbox, for example, and I can just keep the same controller and use it there if I prefer to do that. So check that out, and let me guys know what you think about that. Great show as always. Keep up the great work. I'm out. Peace.
All right, Vaughn, thanks for calling in weekly. Always with a great question as well. I guess I'll go first. I don't know about a particular game, but I will say previous to the Nintendo Switch, I wished Wii U games would be available on Xbox One or PlayStation 4. because the Wii U just wasn't that hot. It was okay, but it wasn't that great. So I always wished I could have those games on a better system. Now that the Switch is out, I don't feel so much because I really like the Switch. But other than that, I can't think of any examples because I have both systems, and I don't feel like I miss out. But anybody else have an answer for Vaughn? Going one?
Yeah, I can't think of any particular game I would want to play on one system or the other.
I mean, it would be nice if I know Xbox is missing out on baseball right now. PlayStation has MLB The Show. So Xbox is missing out on that. But do you guys prefer? Well, let's look at the question a different way. Is there a game that you prefer to play with a certain controller, like Vaughn said? Jeremy, you play a lot of fighting stuff.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right. The PS4, even though like a true fighting game player is going to tell you that you have to have a joystick, but if you are Bush League like I am and just play with a controller, definitely the PS4 controller, the D-pad on that is way better for fighting games than the Xbox One. Now, I will say that the Xbox 360 controller that had the transforming D-pad, that one was really good, but obviously you can't use that on the new gen stuff or not without doing some extra work. And yeah, as far as that adapter he mentioned, I was about to mention until he said that Killer Instinct, you could play that on Windows if you had a decent enough system, because I don't think you could probably get away with that on like low settings and still do that and then do a PS4 controller that way. But sounds like he's got it worked out better though.
I like playing Overwatch on the Xbox over the PS4. I have it on both systems, but I think it might be the controller. I can't really narrow it down right now because I have that Pro controller, whatever it is, for the Xbox. And you have the paddles, and I have the paddles and all that. So
let's Eric, let's talk. You just mentioned Xbox and the Pro controller. It just something just stuck in my brain. Can you give us? You
just brought me down. You just brought me down, Mike. I forgot all about that.
I'm so sorry.
He's picking the scab, man.
That's what Mike does. That's what Mike does.
I just pick away at.
So this is what Mike. We were playing Fortnite the other night, Mike, and I told you about it. So Microsoft hit me up and was like, "Hey, because they were supposed to have my Xbox back on the 16th, right?" I'm like, "Cool," because they sent me the little email with the tracking number and all that. So they hit me back and was like, "I ain't gonna get that till the 25th." I'm like, "Microsoft, you don't work for the government. You're not shut down. What's the problem? What's going on, bro?
Hit him where it hurt.
What's going on?" And they was like, it was something in the shipping, and Microsoft is about to get on my nerves. Is what I'm saying. I don't understand this.
Well, they probably don't have these things sitting around in the U.S. They probably probably got them from Mexico. They probably ship them right from the factory.
Ain't nobody buying Xbox One X's, man. Come on.
Fucking
damn.
Indio Techno just fucking unsubbed.
Yep.
And I love it, but it's cool. I just give me my stuff, man, and hopefully it works. Who knows?
Real quick, another way to answer that question is PC games that you wish were on consoles, and I won't go around asking that, but Matt just mentioned Torchlight 2. Is that the one that didn't make it to consoles? Is that PC only?
No, it's on consoles.
So it's the first one that's not on consoles. I know there was one of the Torchlight games that didn't come to consoles, and then one of them has co-op and the other one doesn't. I can't keep track of which one has co-op, but that is
the first one was only single player, I think, and then the second one was the co-op and came to like last gen stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I know people wish that was on consoles, the first one. All right, let's move on. Voicemail-wise, let's hear from Los.
What's up, guys? This is Los. I am calling mostly because Matt just put it in the Discord, and I happen to be looking at my phone, and I also happen to be out on my own, venturing the wilds, and I figured I'd give you a call. We are
sandals on.
Neck deep in home renovations. We picked up our house. We picked it up. We went out. We looked at it. We liked it, so we picked it up.
Damn.
I think that's how it goes.
That's a nice house,
too. It's a long
man.
process. I'm sure you know. We are happy homeowners again, and we are going crazy painting and all that such. So my sister-in-law, her boyfriend, they are helping us with the painting, but we we were stressing ourselves with paint colors. We went from painting the entire house one color to finalizing the decision and going with like 6 or 7 different colors. And 12 gallons of paint later, here we are. So we went with a grayish tone throughout the whole house. Different shades of gray, if you will. I don't know if it's 50 shades, but I'm sure some of that will be going on at some point. We like what we went with, but what about you guys? What do you, if you could paint your entire house, whatever shades you wanted, what would you go with? Would you go with earth tones? I'm a fan of earth tones. I like reds and beiges and all that stuff. Would you go just one tone throughout the whole thing? Would you do accent colors? We have a few accent walls ourselves. We went crazy. We're nuts. Too much HGTV and renting for too long. It just everything came out at once. So let me know. What do you do? What do you like to do with your walls? Talking about painting, not anything else. I know how you guys are sometimes.
Yeah.
So let me know.
Well, our Sherwin-Williams sponsorship check did not clear. So
yeah. So
Matt,
we have no opinions.
Matt, I can't remember. Was it 2 years ago you did some painting in the house?
Yes, sir.
Now, I know you said you said you went to how when you go to the supermarket and they have like the day old food. Now, I know that you went there and you said that you got like
day old rolls,
like the cheapest paint. No, I'm serious. What did you paint your house, Matt, with? What'd you go with?
It's like a bluish gray type of color. It's more gray than blue, but kind of neutral colors.
All over? One floor?
No, just the living room and hallway and the front entryway, stairway, and stuff like that is the color. The bedrooms and everything else is all different colors. Like Christopher's room's a nice little shade of green, and Noah's is a dark blue. Our room's a nice neutral brown. So
that way you can fling poop around and no one will notice.
No one knows.
Those moon smoothies.
Poop. Yeah. Well, we know that don't happen in my house. But, yeah. Neutral colors, nice. Nothing too outlandish.
Yeah. I probably echo those same things that we've gone with the same theme in like the what'd you call them, the main hallways, I don't want to call them public rooms, but the rooms that aren't someone's bedroom, so they all have
common areas.
Common areas. Thank you, Jesus.
Wow.
But the bedrooms and stuff, like my office is a different color than the common areas. Jeremy, I noticed that I say Jeremy and Eric, both of your wives are very stylish, hip, always doing something around the house to decorate or redecorate. What do you guys do?
Go ahead, Eric.
Eric just buys the paint and brings it in.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, my wife says, "Hey, let's do this." We paint all. If she likes accent walls, you got to have accents. Well, like my office is the walls are black. Who does that, bro? But it looks cool. I don't know how. It just looks cool. So she's all about color everywhere. So.
You even paint the rugs.
Yeah, we paint the rug. Yeah, dye the rugs. Yep.
Except for that stain.
She doesn't like it. Hey, she doesn't like it. She changes it.
Can I ask you that?
That's what we do.
Can I ask you that question? You as you were doing the house video, right? And you were telling us about the rugs that were dyed. How come that stain wasn't dyed? How come that wasn't?
What stain? Because I haven't done that.
The stain you showed us in the video.
Right. Because see that we didn't. That's in my office, and that carpet is that white carpet. So she doesn't want that carpet there. So she wants wood in there. So we're pulling that up.
Gotcha,
so she's gonna do wood floors.
So why dye it if it's just coming up?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Now, Jeremy, you did some remodeling. I want to say maybe about a year and a half ago. I remember you getting on your past podcast, Dad's Getting Grounded. You were telling us about all the Amazon snafus with the shipping, and so was there painting going on before all the delivery of stuff?
Yes, actually, it was done awaiting all the furniture and all that, because obviously it's easier to paint then put the furniture in rather than go the opposite way. But as far as like painting and colors and all that. I have a condition in which I see colors differently than what some people do. It's not color blind, but as my wife calls it, it's color dumb. So I have zero fucks to give about the wall colors and all that stuff, because whatever I think it is, it's not going to be what it actually is. And my wife also doesn't like how I paint. So basically the walls are whatever color she wants, and I don't care because I just don't care. So.
Me and Jeremy in the same box. I could care less. But you know what's funny about my wife when she paints, bro? Never ever does she tape anything or put plastic down. Ever.
Mine usually does not. If it's carpet, she'll put plastic down.
I don't understand that.
But she doesn't use the tape. No, she'll
my
spend.
wife uses no tape, nothing.
Yeah,
and she does
amazing.
fine lines, bro. My wife is a damn alcoholic. And I don't know how she can sit there and like do a line straight across. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, I can't draw a straight line to save my life. And
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, does everybody do their own painting? It sounds like they do.
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not paying nobody $1,000 to paint my house.
I do. And they'll be coming back in the springtime to do the whole house again, because we're going to get ready to move and need to get it all. We got a lot of woodwork, that needs to be painted. So.
Wow.
I can't paint. I can't draw a straight line like you guys said. So it won't get done properly. All right, Los, that was a good question. Los has also called back again, so we're going to hear from him one more time.
Los again. Sorry. I know I do this a lot. Just wanted to give a huge props to Eric. I can't stop looking at the pictures and the video of the Mario room, the Black Mario room, if you will. And I'm sad that Mario is back to being Italian. But at the same time, it is an awesome room. And since I was talking about painting and home renovations and all that, it reminded me and all that stuff. So just wanted to give a huge thumbs up and applaud to Mr. Glovebox over there and the thing that he did with all the hidden doors. And I'm a huge fan.
Los,
So
you got
hopefully
house, do
maybe
it,
one day I'll do something over here like that. But not for now. I'll live through you, good sir. Anyway, peace out. Have a good show. Love you guys. Big fan.
Aww.
All that stuff. Okay, I'm going to hang up now before it gets super awkward, which it probably already is.
No, go on.
Where's the hang up button?
That was before we shit all over his cardboard boxes. So, we got 2 unsubs so far.
I'm gonna come over there, but we're gonna go into your new house. And we're gonna get a Luigi room going in Los's house.
Wario.
Yeah, there you go. Hey man, I sent all the pictures to Nintendo. They ain't answer me back. They was like, "F off, glove box."
You should coat the walls in color and then do it.
I saw some pictures the other day that you posted, Eric, that your wife was doing more work. Did Mario get colored in?
Almost. He's not all the way done. She's taking her time. I don't know why, man.
It's mulatto Mario.
The Bud Light to be drunk.
Because you gotta do it in coats. You can't just it's got to be a couple coats.
Hey, us white people are complicated. You just can't throw a white on us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll work.
Let's hear from Double F, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Bad Fodder Figures. What is up, gentlemen?
Sounds tired.
Double F on the hotline once again. Yes, sir. And if I don't sound quite right, that's because I have the flu, which it seems like everybody in America has right now. So
He really
not get the flu
yes,
now.
I'm kind of down in the flu syndrome. But anyway, man, calling in this week, I just thought maybe we could talk a little Fortnite strategy. Watched some of your streams there this week. Jumped into one or two there. Interesting stuff. Been messing with it myself, and just kind of wondering what some of your thoughts were of how you go about the game. I know there's no right or wrong. I know there's no magical way to do it to win it. Game's always changing with who's playing, how you're playing it, but just curious as to how you guys do it. For a little bit there, I was kind of jumping off at the very beginning with everybody, but it seems like it's major weapon fights at the beginning, everybody running to get a gun, shooting whoever you can and stuff like that. So then I try to stay on board a little bit longer, kind of go to the middle of the map and jump out, but then I'm seems like I'm using up a lot of time running the few sparse buildings I do find, trying to get what weapons I can, and being on the lookout for anybody who's coming up on my tail to shoot me.
He sounds like
So I was just wondering how you guys go about it. I don't know. It seems like when you get to the end, one person has every gun under the sun, rocket launchers and everything else, and they seem to have enough material to build the Empire State Building. I don't know how these people are doing it. So that's all I was wondering. You know, people,
Chinese
what your
hackers.
strategy is and how you go about doing it. Anyway, I got to go get some cough and cold medicine before I fall over.
Jeez.
Arrivederci.
Jeremy, you want to answer that question?
I just want to say that I love that Fred French is on his deathbed and he still finds the time to call us.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hell yeah.
And he's on Twitch now, and he's in our streams talking to us.
Fantastic.
So that's fantastic.
Fantastic.
So I think the same thing applies with PUBG. They always tell you to drop in the heavy populated areas so you can learn how to shoot, you know, the guns you like and get better at it. So it really depends on what's your game plan. Do you want to win? Do you just want to go in and you only get time for one match and you want to try to win? Then yeah, you don't try to go to the most populated area. Try to get looted up as best you can, but not in the hot spots. Lay low, kind of pick and choose your spots to take people out, and then push endgame. Now, how do people, what do you say, the people who could build the Empire State Building and they have all the stuff? Well, those are really the skilled players, and they take everybody out, and they, as Mark says, I like to take the other people's cookies. So, you know, the reason they have all that stuff is because they're killing everybody and taking the best loot and leaving the scraps behind. And so, for example, let's say the four of us drop in some place, remote place, and we, you know, forge all as much materials as possible, right? So we're all maybe have about 100 pieces of wood, maybe same for brick, a little less metal. And then these guys come along and kill us. Well, guess what? Now they have all our materials. So that's how they're having all this stuff at endgame. They're not breaking it down themselves. They're doing a little bit, but they're taking other people's stuff along the way. I'm not good at it, so I don't have much strategy beyond that.
Yeah.
Shoot straight, stab upwards.
Only thing I can add is because I suck, so try to get as many Crown Royal Slurpees as you can and drink those.
Load your guns. Make sure you have enough ammo.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah, just, you know, if you're going to run a squad, get in that V formation. Don't wander off, because if you wander off, someone's got to wander off with you to revive you if possible.
Yeah.
Try to work as a team. Guys are going forward. Guys in the back should be looking backwards to the sides, you know, see if anybody's flanking, you know, just stuff like that. But again, if you're just trying to have fun and be a diversion from work or whatever's going on at home, drop in the heavy populated areas, grab as much guns as you can and learn how to use them. And they get you in and out of these matches so quick right now, it's not a big deal if you die. It's not like you
let them know, too. Let them know what's the best color to get. You know, you got your greens, you got your blues.
So it starts off gray, green, blue, purple, gold.
Yeah.
So the thing that turns me off most about Fortnite is the whole building thing. So would you say it would be a good idea for someone who's starting off, or maybe someone who's been playing for a while and just doing the shooting stuff, to maybe go to an unpopulated area and just practice building, like getting the controls down? And
two things you can do. Either you can play the PvE, and so you got to do a lot of building in the PvE. So that's how you learn that way. If the PvE holds no interest to you, then yes, do solo matches, drop in areas that are not populated, try to get as much materials as you can, and then just practice building. Rinse, repeat. Even if you get caught in a storm, who cares? Die, jump back in and practice again. Really, you know, the building that you start with is kind of like a box without the back, and then the back you put up the ramp. So your sides are covered. You can walk up the ramp, which gives you a little bit of, you know, height that you can sort of then shoot people a little bit higher than that are coming on the ground. And that's like the first thing that you learn to build, I guess. And that's all I got to say about that, Matt. What about you? What you've played?
Yeah, everything you said there about Fortnite just rings true. I like how when we're playing, you know, we kind of shoot off, you know, what guns people have to other people that will use them best. You know, like Mark give him a sniper rifle or something like that because he's pretty good with those, and Mark is very good with the building and stuff like that. So giving him materials and stuff like that, it's definitely a team effort when working in squads like that, and it really shows when you're playing together like that.
I will say I find squads the most difficult because you just have more guys to take out. I really find single player you can push end game really quick. Duos is what I like, is what I prefer. Squads I find really difficult. Mm-hmm. All right, I think that's all the voicemails we have, gentlemen. Matt, why don't you give out the number one more time if you would?
Sure, it is 508-659-BFFS, 508-659-BFFS.
Very good, thank you. Let's segue over to what we've been playing. Again, you can really skip me. It's more the same PUBG and Call of Duty, but I have been mixing in some Switch stuff this week. I played a bunch of Mario Kart and Splatoon 2, as I already mentioned, and it's good to be back on the Switch and playing that stuff. And we'll have a story later on, or maybe we'll just discuss it now. Nintendo's online offering has been delayed to 2019. So as I go into these Switch games, Splatoon 2 and Mario, for example, while I'm having a lot of fun, what feels missing to me is, hey, maybe I want to, get Corey, Catwood, or I want to get Eric into some of these games with me, and there's just no easy way to do that. So that's... that's the one thing that's holding me back, like really saying, get this system, it's so much fun. It's just, when you're playing these multiplayer games and you can't invite your friends and you can't party up, it really feels like a weak offering at times. And it's fun to switch because, to stream Switch games because I just can be myself and talk to people and, play music and stuff like that. But there is a part of me that wishes I could, party up and play with some of my friends. So that's what I've been playing. Matt, let's look at your list. You've already mentioned Torchlight 2, and I think that's sort of like a Diablo-type game, if I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, the same people that did Diablo, some of the same people, they also did Torchlight 2. So there's lots of similarities between the two, gameplay and stuff like that, and looting that. I don't know why, but I just... I see it in my Steam library all the time, and I haven't played it in a long time, so I just decided to start over fresh on it. I do not know where I finished off at before in that. I know I didn't get that far, so I start off fresh. But it's one of those games that I like to play because you can choose a different class to be. It's got the whole loot mechanic as far as rares and epics and all that stuff, and enchantments and magic and fantasy and stuff like that. So I'm jumping into that for a while again. I started playing that this afternoon as a called an Ember Mage, which is one of the magical class that does shoots fire and ice or what have you, and uses wands and scepters and that. So I'm going through that in the very beginning. Like I said, I just started right over again, so I'm in the very beginning of it, low level and all that. But I'm looking forward to getting some more playlite in that because it's just everything else I've been playing is just like it's time for something new and something different. So I went to that. And then I also months ago, as I said before, about the Humble Bumble, and it had a bunch of different games in it and a bunch of scary games. So I went ahead and installed a bunch of those, and I picked out Lakeview Cabin Collection. Which is wow, what in the hell?
Yeah, I'm about to say that sounds like garbage.
No, it's just really weird. It
is. It's very strange. I have no idea what's going on right now. I did find that there's different colored keys getting in different colored areas, so I've been looking for that. And you can play as different characters. And I was playing before, and I accidentally made one guy evacuate. And then there was I don't know, these monsters that run around and they blow you up and eat you and stuff. And
sound like you're playing Death Stranding.
So it's like it's a 16-bit side-scrolling horror 80s horror movie simulator. It's really and because I got that same bundle when I played it, and I was doing some research because I'm like, what the hell is this? Because I had the same like Matt saying, what is this? There's this huge cult following on YouTube, I guess, of people who, as they're playing it, they make up stories and characters and play them out in the game. It's some really weird cult type thing. But yeah.
Matt, how much did it cost? 75 cents, something like that.
I think the whole Humble Bumble was like I don't know.
He just really can't say Humble Bundle, can he?
Yeah, no. I think it was like $6 or $7, Jeremy, when we got that.
Yeah, and
it
it
was
was for like
cheap.
10 or 12 games. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it came with a bunch of games, and so there's like Alien Isolation I gotta play yet, Dread Out or something like that, and what was it, the Death by Daylight or something? So what we played.
Dead by Daylight, yeah. That's why we got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I streamed a little bit the Lakeview Cabin thing, and I streamed some Torchlight today. Both interesting. I mean, Torchlight is a lot more fun than the Lakeview Cabin thing. Mm-hmm. The Lakeview Cabin all of a sudden just turns hectic, and it was very, very wild and crazy.
Do you play Diablo, Matt, at all?
I did. I had Diablo for the PS3, and I got rid of it.
The PS4 one is really good. Just check that out.
Yeah, I haven't played it for that. So yeah, I played Diablo for quite a while. I used to play that with Denny a lot. We'd get on Sunday mornings and play that because that's the only time he would play.
Hey, Denny, where you been, man?
Yeah, Denny. He's not listening to the show.
No beer talk.
No beer talk. So yeah, but that's what I've been. Of course, the regulars like Fortnite with Mike and Mark and Jay and all them guys have been fun playing that and everything. So, and of course the PUBG with Jeremy and his excellent wife last night. So that was a lot of fun.
I was going to say his ex.
I'm like, no, dude.
I was like, whoa, what happened in the last 16 months?
Well, after she plays with me, she realizes, whoa, hey, what am I getting?
Small fingers and cowboy boots.
Yeah, small fingers. Mm-hmm.
Jeremy knows how to make these women play games, man. I'm telling you.
She's playing it right now.
That's so awesome.
Anything else, Matt?
That was awesome.
That is it, Mike.
All right. Eric, how about yourself?
I played some Fortnite with Mike and the usual suspects over there. Had a good time. I suck and we lost, but we lost
a lot. Yep.
Yeah, we lost a lot. And shout out to Vaughn, man, because I watched the little toy thing on Netflix about.
Was it made us?
Yeah, I watched the Star Wars one. So here after this podcast, I'm gonna go watch the Barbie one, right? But I watched the Star Wars one. That was pretty good, man. I enjoyed that. And just like I've been watching the Overwatch League. I don't know if y'all know about that. I know y'all don't care, but Overwatch League is popping off and it's pretty hardcore right now. So
cool.
And that's it.
All right, Jeremy.
Yeah, I mentioned the From Other Suns stuff. I've been playing more of the Pyre and getting further in that story. It finally took the turn where it's like, all right, there's going to be an end to this, so you need to start deciding who you're going to transcend out of purgatory or whatever. So I think I'm getting close to the end of that one. And then another game I got back into, which Mike, you and I played. Oh man, probably a year and a half ago, the original Bush Wookiee.
Yes.
The first time I saw your Bush ever was playing Divinity Original Sin.
I'm like 70s Harry.
Yeah. I've been seeing
tea and carpet.
This was kind of like a real quiet hit, if such a thing exists, a few years ago, where it's kind of like a Diablo type game. Yeah. It's an RPG adventure type thing, but instead of the fast-paced click on everything that moves action, the battles are more like XCOM. So it like time freezes, and there's the order of who goes when and all that stuff. It got ported to the current gen ports or consoles rather, and I think that was one of the reasons Mike and I tried it that night, because it was supposed to have really excellent controller support, which it does for that type of game. But I was sitting on my laptop and I was sitting there looking at my Steam list. I thought, I think I want to try that again, but instead of the controller, because it was a little wonky still. I actually went to try it with a mouse and keyboard, and sure enough, it was a little bit better experience for me, I think, playing it that way. So it's a really, really big game, so I don't know how far into it I am going to get, but it was something that I did have my backlog to at least get into a little bit more than what Mike and I played. But man, that's kind of another aspect of it too, is you have a party of 4, but you can play co-op and actually split up the party members. So Mike could be in town turning in quests and selling goods, and I could be out in the wilds fighting stuff. So even though you're in the same party, it kind of does like a split screen thing. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
I know people really like the latest one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's kind of the other thing too, is because I think eventually I'm going to try and get that, but I want to see, I want to get some more experience with the first one before I jump into the second one, rather than just pass it over completely, because it got a whole new rework, and I think that's when we picked it up, was after the enhanced edition or whatever it was called came out. So, I'm gonna keep with that. I'm gonna finish up Pyre, and then obviously I got a whole new partner here and partner in crime with PUBG. So. That'll keep me busy too.
And I can't wait to try out PUBG on the new PC, see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, did we cover everybody? I think so.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right.
Sir.
Everybody can grab their favorite beverage here. We're going to go talk about the news, but first I will play a sound clip of the news.
Really? Okay, do you hear what he just said? He just said, why don't you, for once in your life, just do the fucking news? All right, no. I'm going to do the fucking news. No, here is the fucking news.
Yes, here is the news and some notable releases this week. We got some big titles. Monster Hunter World is out on both consoles, the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, as well as Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Jeremy, you play a lot of the fighter games. Anything this pique your interest at all, or hear any good things about it?
I've heard good things about it, but I've never gotten into the Dragon Ball or the Naruto. I've never gotten into either one of those. So,
would you say you've gotten into like the lore though of Killer Instinct or Tekken or?
The lore of those?
Well,
no, not really.
At the end of the game, they're just fighting games, right? So I don't know if Dragon Ball is more involved, that you'd have to know the backstory of.
Well, I think those actually tell the backstory, but at the same time, there's been so many of those games. I don't know, like at what point they're telling which timeline, because Dragon Ball Z has been there was Dragon Ball, then there was Dragon Ball Z, then there was Dragon Ball Z. Alpha or somebody out there who's really into that series is screaming at their radio right now or whatever. But there's just so much of it and so many different timelines, and it spawns with like the kid who's like the main character in the very first Dragon Ball series is now the grandfather of the main character and the whatever. There's just too much. There's too much for me to try and dive into to figure out and just push buttons.
All right. This is for Gamer Goalie. If he's listening, there is some new Assassin's Creed Origins DLC dropping this week. It's called The Hidden Ones, and I believe it's part of the Season's Pass. Let's get into some of these new news items. PUBG and their blue circles. I'm not sure if this already is in place. You guys will tell me if you noticed this last night. But they say over the course of early access period, we received a lot of feedback from you that the pacing and distribution of combat encounters in a match could be more even and less chaotic. We performed a series of internal tests to find out ways to address this issue. However, we're not able to take any action until now, as other fundamental systems had to be developed and fixed first. So what they have decided to do is they've slightly decreased waiting time of the blue zones in mid to late phases of the match, slightly decreased shrinking speed of blue zones in mid to late phase, and slightly increased damage per second of the last blue zone. Did you guys notice that at all last night, or couldn't tell? Or
I couldn't tell. I don't know if you did, Jeremy, or not.
No, I couldn't really tell. I think there's some people who are in there just not even caring about the blue zone, to be honest. Like, I know there's one group we ran into like that. But these changes sounds like they're trying to get more fast-paced like Fortnite to me.
Well, they say the goal seems to have fewer deaths caused by the wall and more deaths at the hands of other players. So I guess that's what they're going for. More PUBG news, guys, and I'm really sorry to break this news to you, but you have been, there's no other way to say this, but you're one of the 100,000 cheaters, and you're going to be banned.
No, shut.
Let's make a new count.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to break that. But they have gone on to say that we've recently discovered a new pattern of cheats in action. This week we performed a thorough gameplay data review of 10 million players and completed an analysis of tens of millions of data logs. Through this exercise, we were able to identify over 100,000 instances of this new patent related to use of cheat, and now we have confirmed that it was clearly an attempt of compromising our game. These players will be permanently banned in a single wave. This is an example of additional measures we will be taking on top of the basic detection systems in place, and we will continue to go through hundreds and billions of data logs. So, Matt, if you see the ban hammer come down, you now know why.
Yeah, well, it helped me so far, so I'm okay with what I accomplished in that game already.
All right. Harkening back to Dad's getting grounded again. That's 2 plugs, so I should be getting 2 cents in the mail. I believe that We Happy Few was a game that you guys targeted. Is that correct? You guys didn't have positive things to say about that. Is that correct or incorrect?
I don't recall one way or another. I know that I thought that was personally, I thought that was a bad way to roll out a single-player game, but...
So the game has been delayed again from its April release, now coming out sometime in the summer. So again, this is going to be a full-price game now. It's going to be a retail copy, full $60 game. They have stopped taking... or you cannot pre-order it anymore. You cannot buy it in early access. I think they gave out refunds on Steam for this because they had to go back to the drawing board on some things, and so this will be a full retail game, and they're putting some more polish on it. And again, developers are enabling refunds for Steam players regardless of playtime or date of purchase. They'll also be disabling Steam purchases altogether as of February 1st and won't be allowing early access purchases or pre-orders.
Sounds like a dumpster. Yeah, that sounds like a dumpster fire.
Hadn't that game been in early access for 3 years or something like that?
20 months.
Years?
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah. I think it might be good when it comes up, but it certainly, as Jeremy said, probably not the best approach, but they didn't know, to their defense, they didn't know that Gearbox was going to come along and offer this distribution deal. They thought they were going to do this themselves, so they needed to generate some cash and put it in early access and stuff like that. Because Los and people like Eric don't have enough knickknacks in their house, PlayStation is launching a new line of figurines called Totaku. Is that how you think you pronounce that?
Sounds like it. I mean, that's what it looks like.
Kotaku without the K. Let's put a T in front of it. This is going to be a figurine line. They're not amiibos. They're just collectibles. And the characters right now are Bloodborne's Hunter, Crash Bandicoot, Parappa the Rapper, Kratos from God of War, the Fisar FX 350 racing ship from Wipeout, Sackboy from Little Big Planet, and Heihachi from the Tekken series. Is that how I'm pronouncing that? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All figurines are $9.99.
They look pretty detailed for $9.99. I'm wondering if they're...
What's the scale size on them, though? Does it say?
Doesn't say here.
Like Star Wars height type stuff? Star Wars characters?
It doesn't say in the article how long. It says the series launches on March 23rd, and they're only available through GameStop. Does not give the height in this article. I am sorry.
$10, I'll look into it. The God of War one looks pretty cool.
I would say, if just by eyeballing it, I would say they're probably amiibo height.
Oh.
I'm thinking. But I could totally be wrong. Moving on, Sony is going to have a major update coming out soon, and right now you can join the beta to get in there. There's no details of what's going to be in the beta, but they are calling this a major upgrade. So if you're curious and you want to get in on the ground floor, go to Sony's website, their PlayStation blog, and you can enlist. I'll also have the link in the show notes if you can't locate it. And the other two news stories are already covered. The last thing we'll talk about here is Xbox might be working on an new Elite controller. So there's been some leaked information on Reddit. The new Elite will support Bluetooth wireless connectivity, a USB-C wired connection, a magnetic charging connector similar to Apple's MagSafe hookup, a built-in battery pack, and 3-level hair trigger locks. Longer travel on the paddles, and a 3-profile switch. And there also appears to be an adjustable tension setting for the thumbsticks. No idea if this is true or not, but that's a rumor that they're working on a new Elite controller.
How about Xbox work on some games? How about that?
Wow.
Yeah, Fred French put some fire to Major Nelson the other day. That was fantastic.
Why don't you tell people what that was?
Yeah, what'd he say?
Oh, God. Major Nelson tweeted out something like, I can't believe it's been 18 years, or I can't remember the phrase. And he said something like, it's hard to believe it's been 18 years or something like that. Or it's been 18 years. Where did the time go? Fred French replies back, yeah, where did the exclusives go? Or where did the games go? Or something like that. I was like, oh, Fred. Fred.
I've been going back and forth with Jagoosh on Discord, don't get really caught up in the console wars, but yeah, you can't deny it at this point that there's no exclusive first party stuff besides the retreads and of the games they put out. So just like it's undeniable that PlayStation is not for crossplay, doesn't have a good cloud platform for saves, and doesn't let you change their your username. They both have flaws, but
yeah,
come on, Xbox, get some exclusives going, right?
And stop putting out 700 controllers. We get it. You can have a controller in any color you want. Great.
I might have to drop some money if they get out the if the Patriots win the Super Bowl. I might have to get the Patriots controller.
Yeah.
Well, we know what they're going to have at E3 now. At least I know we're a bit away from that, but at least we know it's just going to be games all the time.
and those games are going to be Sea of Thieves and Forza 8.
Nah, they'll have some new stuff. They have to.
Yeah, you spend $500 and the console breaks. Eric's going to turn your back on you pretty quick.
I'm not turning my back, but here's the thing.
Salty.
No, I need some innovation. Okay, for instance, I bring up him a lot. Fred, my buddy Fred, Mike.
Double F?
Oh, yeah.
The other Fred. Yeah, where's my Fred. Shit, Fred? Every day I look in the mailbox.
Right. Fred bought a AR headset, an alternate reality headset from Fred. Microsoft-based.
I want to give Fred a hug.
LG. So he was telling me that Microsoft's going to go with that for the Xbox, right? Okay, let's do something. What are they waiting for? They're waiting for E3, right? So when E3 comes, they're going to announce it, and it's not going to come back till 2019.
Who knows? I mean, I know that's going to get people like you and Jeremy excited, and that's great. The innovation and stuff, but that doesn't move the needle for me at all because I'm not in that headspace right now to go do the VR thing.
But even still, after VR, there's no games though.
Yeah. And augmented reality, we already know it's going to be boxes.
Look, now Halo 6, right? It comes with balsa wood. And you can make this balsa wood warthog.
Like those airplanes, right? Those fucking airplanes suck balls.
Telling you. Calling it now. Write it down.
How many people ever tried to do those airplanes?
I
really a show of hands.
That shit never worked.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of hands, Matt, do you have any terrible topics this week?
I do. If you want to go through, so I get some quick ones that we can run through. Some nice couple paragraph topics.
All right, I have one. So
play the theme song.
So I have one. So let's make sure someone reminds me again. Okay.
All right.
Might be women of the night walking around, broadcasting out their anuses. I'm like 70s Harry.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that. Burn it up. I'm right down to the fucking fan. Adult toys, sex crime or sexual assault, vaginas. Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, who's got the GPS on the rub and tug?
That 70s Harry gets me every time.
I can listen to that all day long, man. That's the greatest.
Mike, you should share that with our friends over the pond with a Chewy Bounty.
Why? They listen to the show.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
That is the funniest shit ever.
Oh god, that's one of the best clips ever. Jeez. Okay, here's a good one here. A hairstylist is accused of giving a man unwanted Stooges hairdo.
Stooges hairdo?
Yeah,
What?
Stooges.
Like the Three Stooges?
Like
Yes, sir.
But one of them doesn't have any hair.
Well, it wasn't him.
Shemp. What do you get? A Shemp haircut? A bowl?
Yes.
This is in Madison, Wisconsin. Arrested a hairstylist after he gave a customer a very unwanted Larry Fine hairdo. Police spokesman Joel Despain says a 22-year-old victim told officers the stylist asked him to stop fidgeting and moving his head during the Friday haircut. The Wisconsin State Journal reports that Despain says the stylist then nicked the customer's ear with his clippers before running them down the middle of the man's head on the shortest attachment, leaving him looking a bit like Larry from the Three Stooges.
So Larry was curly. No, Larry.
Yeah. Larry had the red hair coming out the sides.
Yeah,
right, Curly was bald.
Bald, yeah. Yep. Despain said officers arrested a 46-year-old hairstylist, Khalid A. Shabani, who pleaded not guilty to disorderly conduct Wednesday. Despain says Shabani told officers it was an accident. So, yeah, I guess he had to just want to write down. I mean, what hairstylist would not want to do that with someone who's giving them a hard time? Just take the clippers just straight down the middle of their head and just be done. You're done.
Mo, Larry, and Curly. So he actually had his own name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Larry Finn.
Died in Finberg. Died in 1975 of a stroke.
Oh, wow.
He was born in 1902, though.
I remember waking up Sunday mornings, man. Three Stooges on Sunday morning there. Always watching them. Here's another great story here. Man allegedly punches himself in the face to avoid a breathalyzer. Belfast, Maine. Belfast police said that they have arrested a man who allegedly punched himself in the face to avoid a breathalyzer test. Police say they found the car of 27-year-old Brian Fogg in a ditch early Saturday morning on Waterville Road. When they tried to administer a breathalyzer test, Fogg allegedly punched himself in the face 3 times, causing himself to bleed. Police tended to his injuries instead of giving him the test. Fogg is charged with OUI, falsifying physical evidence, and criminal mischief. He has since been released on bail. So, I don't know, Eric, I know a lot of places, if you refuse to do
you get your driver's license taken.
Automatically taken on the spot.
For a year. Yep.
Yeah.
He can refuse all he wants. That's cool.
Yeah.
You ain't got to take it. I'm going to ask you, do you want to take it? You say no? Okay, fine. That's cool. You ain't got to take it.
So what did punching himself in the mouth do?
I don't know. That's
because the blood and stuff coming out, they don't want to get the machine all bloody or something?
No, just like incapable of taking it because he's got a mouth injury.
Yeah.
Right. Well, no,
just like Matt, if you broke your leg on the way out of your car, the guy would have make you do a walking test if you're drunk, right? Because you can't walk. You can't walk on your leg. Same type of thing.
I see.
Not that I've ever been in any of these situations where I've tried any of these hijinks.
Interesting. Yes. I've heard putting pennies in your mouth does something to the...
Does absolutely nothing.
Except your mouth tastes like shit.
Yeah, mouth tastes like pennies. That's about it.
Yeah. So anyways, those are my 2 stories that I had this week. Nice and short. Right. For the people, no penis mutilation going on this week.
All right,
Mike,
you guys ready for this? Yeah. Man, are you guys all buckled in for this, you amusement park riders?
Yes, sir.
Man gets diarrhea on a roller coaster and splashes 14 people.
Oh, no.
A man was enjoying his vacations in one of the most important museums, buildings, gardens, monuments, and restaurants in Port Aventura, Spain. He was convinced by friends to get on the best ride of the park, Ferrari Land. The man, who we knew was suffering from gastritis, accepted, and his nightmare started. On the first slope, at a speed of almost 200 kilometers, the man noticed that his stomach was not doing well. At the first looping, he couldn't stop himself and was forced to let air out. the shit was flying all over the place and splashed 14 people who were sharing the exciting ride. Many of them threw up because they had shit on their hair, face, and clothing. The man faced no charges because this was involuntary.
What? Don't they have garbage bags there? I mean,
exactly.
Put the garbage bag on.
It's sitting in this hefty bag.
Oh, bro.
Oh. That's when
Mike,
shit hit the fan.
That doesn't beat your story, though.
Oh,
I swear. That was the best story with the garbage bag. That's like one of my top 5, bro. Of all the stories I ever heard in my life, that is fantastic.
It is really bad. And it's 100% true, too, because you can ask my wife. And my kids, my wife and kids were going out, and my wife had to walk out to the car with the hefty bag. And my kids just looked at me like, Dad, who the hell are you? You've let us down.
Did you say she said something like, what the hell's wrong with you? Or something like that?
She handed me a hefty bag. And I can't remember if I asked her to punch holes for the feet already, or if I had to do that. I can't remember.
Mike, let me tell you, when we was driving up Boston, and we was coming up the path, I told my wife and my mother-in-law, dude, we had to pull over because we was laughing so hard. Oh,
dude, I had to cinch that thing up like in the middle, you know, like tied in a knot, like right around like my belly button. And then I was like walking into my house like a sumo wrestler. You know what I mean? Like doing that, like, you know, I can walk like a penguin type thing. You know,
Halo 6 comes with a stack of garbage bags, right?
Halo
put them all together.
Bag of garbage bags and some balsa wood.
Make an outhouse.
Oh my!
Switch right on there so you can play it while you're taking a dump. It's great.
You dudes are absolutely out of control.
All right. Well, with that, let's end this bad boy. Episode 13, lucky number 13. Matthew, any sort of plugs, shout-outs, complaints, concerns, questions?
You guys, of course, are making this show great, Nat, and all the listeners out there listening and downloading the show and doing stuff like that. It's much appreciated. Spread the word. Bad Fodder Figures there. Spread the word out there. Get more people listening to this craziness, and that's about it.
All right, Jeremy.
Yes, everyone. Again, Fred French. Thank you again, Double F, for calling in. I really hope you feel better and appreciate your commitment to us and not missing an episode yet. Vaughn, same thing. Keep them coming, buddy. I always love to hear your questions. And everyone else who's not calling in, step it up, man. I mean, come on. We got Vaughn, who's brand new. We got Double F, who's dying and still managing to call us. So, and Los, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings with my my cardboard stuff, because like you said, you don't care about our last man standing games, and that's fine. That they are definitely not for everyone. Clearly the Labo stuff isn't for us as well, but I do acknowledge that there is a portion of people out there who are looking forward to and excited for this, and I'm glad that you have something to look forward to. And finally, my awesome wife, who made a dream come true, and she'll never really understand how much it means to me that she's finding true joy in taking part of something that's a big part of my life as far as gaming and stuff. So well, shit, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Well, shit.
All right. Wow. Where do we go from there, Eric?
Shout out to Jeremy's wife, man. That's awesome. Good for you, bro. Good on you. Shout out to everybody that listens. I'm gonna leave J Maniac 17 out because he left me out. Because I don't have a Switch or PSVR or anything like that. And shout out to you guys, because you dudes make me laugh like crazy every Sunday, man. It's hilarious. So cool.
All right. Yeah, I would echo the same thing. I'm sorry about all the people we threw under the bus in Canada and all the sponsors we lost this week. really wasn't our objective, but so be it. Of course, all the listeners and things like that, we really appreciate everybody calling in, or just people that download and don't call in. Everything is not forgotten. Everybody that checks out the streams, whether it's Bad Fodder Figures or Matt's channel or my channel or Jeremy's, thanks for stopping by and lifting our spirits and talking and chatting with us. It means a lot. So thank you. And a personal plug, February 5th. It is a goddamn national holiday. Violence, speed, and momentum returns. The Doc is back February 5th. So be on the lookout.
Get your Vaseline ready.
I love that video. I'm not sure if anybody saw that video. I thought it was really well done. So cool.
Was he spitting? Looked like there was spit coming out of his mouth there.
Yeah, he was all worked up like he just got beat up, you know. But anyways, this has been episode 13, gentlemen. Thanks for being a part of it, and we will catch you next week for episode 14, and we'll give our Super Bowl predictions next week. And Jeremy, if you're going to be around
Steelers.
Yes, if you're going to be around next week, Jeremy, maybe now is a good time for you and your wife to come up with your your nacho recipes, because people are going to be wondering what to make on Super Bowl Sunday. Maybe you can come on, or maybe she'll want to come on and discuss her recipe, and you guys can battle it out. Just something, you know what that's called? Food for thought.
Wow.